Hey, what's up, guys? So I'm here in Osaka again. Just coming back after 2 weeks, about a little over 2 weeks, traveling around Japan and checking out some of the just amazing baseball that is available here in Japan. So behind me is field, a high school, junior high school field, the practice of some high school baseball players going on right now. This field is really like any of the countless fields that you see just like it across Japan, but it kind of holds a special place in my heart, as it was the first baseball field that I stumbled across walking around Osaka on my first day here. So I'll kind of always remember this as my first brush with Japanese baseball, watching these young guys practice and being really impressed by the way they approach the game and by the passion and the enthusiasm with which they play. So I wanted to come here on this last day. I'm feeling a little bit emotional, feeling very reflective about the trip, so I wanted to take some time just to talk about, generally sum up my time here in Japan, and maybe talk a little bit about World Baseball Project in general as well. So in Japan, I ended up going to a total of three professional baseball games in Osaka, Koshien, and Sapporo. All of which were incredible. The level of enthusiasm and passion for baseball in those cities, I imagine, is similar to any city in Japan when it comes to baseball. It was just, people just love baseball. People here love baseball, and when I tell them that I'm here for baseball, they get really excited and really passionate, really enthusiastic, and I really enjoy those conversations. It seems like every person I've told that I'm here for baseball is just gets so amped about that. So that's been a really cool thing. Japan is virtually a baseball heaven. If you love baseball, like I do, like I know so many of you do, then this is a place to check out. It's just part of the fabric of the country. It's part of the identity, and people really embrace baseball here. So in addition to the professional games, I also got to watch a little bit of some junior high school and some high school games, which was really inspiring and motivational for me in the work that I'm trying to accomplish with World Baseball Project. And also got to swing the bat at some batting cages and just find little bits of baseball all over the place. So what this means for me and World Baseball Project, I'd say in some ways I don't really know yet. This was a way for me to just come and think about what's possible. So one of the biggest things that I really want to be able to do is to be able to bring some of these guys, some of these kids, coaches and players, people from the baseball communities in other parts of the world where baseball is not quite developed, the places like Ethiopia, Kenya, and even to some extent Vietnam, to give them some exposure and some time to see baseball like this, to see what it looks like after it's been around for a while, and what it could be, but also to see the passion for baseball and to have opportunities to maybe play on some fields like this, to have coaches who really know what they're doing, give some insight on baseball drills and practices, and before that felt like kind of a distant fantasy, but now after spending some time in Japan, it feels really possible, especially with how much people here really love baseball. And when I would tell them about World Baseball Project and I would show them the Instagram or the website, they seemed really interested in ways that how can Japan support this? How can the Japanese people be part of, developing baseball in some of these other places, which I know, Japan is already a big part of in some ways. I know JICA does some baseball development and some of the baseball teams, some of the professional baseball teams here also work on baseball development in other parts of the world. So, I've got a lot of ideas, a head full of ideas, a lot of things to process when I get back to Vietnam, and then, moving forward. And I really hope to be able to create some of those connections, some real connections here to Japan. So if you happen to be watching this and you are connected in Japan in some way to baseball, and someone who might be interested in reaching out and helping to support some of our development efforts, please do let me know. Shoot a comment or an email, RBI at World Baseball Project, and let me know. Otherwise, I just thinking a lot about how far things have come with World Baseball Project in this time that I've been here. Some of you might not know it, but World Baseball Project is really just a project of passion and love right now. Love for baseball and love for these kids, these guys, especially in Ethiopia and in Kenya and other places where the passion for baseball is really high, but the resources, the access to equipment, the access to training, the support from government, from community is all quite low. When I see their love and I see their passion, it inspires me and motivates me to try to find ways to help to support them in their growth and development of baseball. But this is not my job. This is something that I do so far. I've done completely voluntarily. I've had some help from GoFundMe. So some of my friends and family have kicked in, fortunately, and helped out with that. But I've acquired some debt and paid for a lot of this out of pocket. And my hope is that getting it to this point of working on it over the last 5 years or so, that now it's time to make things official and look for some sponsorship so that it can be funded and accomplish some of the big goals that are part of the vision. So it's come a very, very long way from being just an idea that came out of a promise that I made in a schoolroom in Ethiopia in 2014, which was basically, hey, if you guys keep playing baseball and you keep showing that you love baseball and that you're willing to do what it takes to keep baseball alive here at that time in Bauchi, Ethiopia, that I would do whatever I could to help make it a supported program. So that is ultimately how World Baseball Project came about. At the time, World Baseball Project wasn't World Baseball Project. It didn't have a name. I didn't know how it would all come about. It's been a very long and sometimes very difficult journey. There's some times when I've really thought about giving up, and the guys back there in those countries and in those communities that I've made some really strong personal connections to have really kept me going, have kept me motivated. And I don't do what I do for myself. This is for them. This is for people who I believe deserve a real chance. You see a lot of this in sports and in baseball right now, giving everybody a chance to play. And the truth is, those guys are not starting from an even footing, from an even playing field. The odds are stacked against them, and but they're not down about it. They have a lot of hope. They have a dream, and my dream is to see their dreams come true. And for them, that can be as simple as just playing on a field like this behind me, even just for a couple hours one day, and that would make their dream complete. I know for some of those guys. So it's been a long road to this point. It's a long road ahead, but I can say for sure that this trip to Japan has been really inspiring. Of course for the baseball, but also just the support and encouragement of the Japanese people have been incredibly hospitable, and have shown so much love and interest in the work that I've done so far to get it to this point. So I hope that we can keep that going. The hope for me is that within the next year that this could become a fully sponsored and supported program, and that's what I'm working toward right now. In the meantime, of course, if you are so inclined to contribute, please do go to www.gofundme.com/World Baseball Project and make a contribution to help keep things going. It's all been coming out of my pocket, and that's a little bit difficult sometimes. So would like to keep things moving along, and I have a lot of hope, and I believe that good things are going to happen. But for now, it's just going to keep plugging away, and they say for the guys who are out there trying to make it professionally, they say grind till you're signed, right? And that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is grind until I'm signed, and hope we can make something happen. So I appreciate everybody who has shown interest and has followed along so far. Please tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell all your people about World Baseball Project, and at this point, just followers and likes and all that stuff is really helpful too. Yeah, even if you're not able to make any kind of contribution. So thank you guys so much. It's really been a joy. I've really enjoyed sharing this experience with you all, and I hope to share more of this and be able to even maybe open up some opportunities for you guys to come and experience some of these things someday. So for World Baseball Project, I'm Joe. Peace out, guys.